Hey guys, Mike Pawns here, and today I am back with some more units that should be in Dragon Ball Legends. Last video did better than I honestly expected, so I want to thank you guys for those who watched all the way through the last video. So this time I'm going to be reviewing characters from Dragon Ball Z. I'm going to keep this intro short so we can jump right into it, so yeah, let's go. So for this video, I'll be splitting each section by saga instead of character this time, considering that's how Legends is kind of splitting, you know, the tags or whatever. So the first saga is of course the Saiyan saga, and for my first unit I have LF Raditz. Last time we got a Raditz unit, it was the free-to-play for the April Fools that we got last year, and honestly for a free-to-play he was pretty good when he released, especially with like all the Saiyan Saga units that came out at that time. He was pretty good. Anyway, so I feel like if they could give Nappa a unit, even though like the star of that LF was like Vegeta, if they could give Nappa an LF, they could for sure give Raditz an LF. So there's Raditz. Next character I have is an obvious choice, and a choice that many of you will agree with. It is LF Kaioken Goku. And I'm honestly just as shocked as you guys that we did not get him for the Saiyan Saga campaign last year, especially since it was an 100 million, I think it was 100 million users campaign, and like Legends could have done way better than 2 1% and 1 LF. And speaking of the LF, we didn't even get an extra 1% alongside the LF. That's like the only unit that has ever been on a banner that has never that did not come with a 1%. I just feel like they did not handle the Saiyan Saga campaign last year like any good. They could have done way better. I feel like they could have fit him in by replacing the Mega Rising banner with LF Kaioken, but of course they didn't. So next time they do a Saiyan Saga campaign, he's a must, you know? So yeah, next up we have probably my best idea so far is a tag Goku and Piccolo. When they go up against Raditz, of course. So hear me out on my idea real quick. They'll obviously have like a switch unique gauge. You know where I'm going with this. Once it's filled up, you'll have like a prep time where Piccolo will start charging his special beam cannon, like Boo Bros and the Gammas and all that. And then obviously once the gauge empties, he'll launch it. If the health reaches 0 of the opponent, then the LF will activate. You know what happens. You know, pretty simple. But an extra mechanic that they can add on to this unit is like a comeback mechanic or a final counter. So let's say they get killed, Gohan will come out of the Saiyan pod and damage the opponent. Whether that's like a final counter, like I think it was LF Cell, or if it's like a comeback, like Turles or Golden Frieza. I feel like that would be a really good mechanic just to have like that, like, you know, like a tag unit with the switch gauge with a prep time and all that, with also like a final counter or a comeback where Gohan damages the opponent and like boom, the battle keeps going, you know? I feel like that's a pretty good mechanic that they could add for that unit when they eventually do come into the game, because they're coming into the game. You can't tell me they're not. But yeah, and for my final pick for the Saiyan Saga, we got the GOAT of all goats, Ultra Vegeta. Look, I already hear the UMV haters yelling at me.
Oh, but UMV was so broken. We don't need another Vegeta. Shut up.
Listen, I think this is a great idea. This is not just my Vegeta bias because he's one of my favorite characters, but like, just listen. Like, if we could get the Vegeta, we can get an Ultra Vegeta from the time he fought Kui, I think, or I don't remember what his name is. If we can get a Vegeta, an Ultra Vegeta from that fight, we can definitely get a Vegeta from the Saiyan Saga. Come on. And like, they can do so much with this. Like, let's say Legends does do giant characters eventually, they can have him transform into the Great Ape. And like, they could even make it a mechanic like, if you deal enough damage to him, he'll get his tail cut off, quote unquote, and he'll go back to his base form, you know? Just to not make it, you know, extremely broken. But of course, if they don't do giant characters, they can always make his Great Ape attack into like an active gauge or whatever you want to call it, you know? And another thing, I feel like this Vegeta will be, if they do make an Ultra Vegeta from the Saiyan Saga, I feel like this Vegeta should be the next Ultra with a Tap Actions Ultimate card. Like you know how UVB has UG4, who's the third one? Ultra Cell, how those three have it. I feel like just having the tap action as Vegeta is charging up his Gallic Gun, that would be like an amazing mechanic. So yeah, I feel like he should get a tap action if he does get a unit. But yeah, that's enough for the Saiyan Saga. So next up, we've got the Namek Saga. Now, most of the Namek Saga has already been done, and I don't really have too many ideas, but bear with me. My first choice is Zarbon and Dodoria. They're pretty boring picks, but I think they at least deserve a 1% sparking, mainly because they don't have 1% sparkings, you know? And they can even like go crazy and make them like a 1% tag unit. You know, just something small. Like they can have them as like a side banner unit with like another character, like with some of the characters that I'm going to be talking about next, you know? Just something simple. Just make them 1%. They don't have to be LFs. I don't think they're LF worthy. Hell, you can even throw like Kui in there as a 1% sparking, because we don't even have a Kui unit at all in this game, I think. So I think they can add those three in some way, you know? So yeah, next up, we got the Ginyu Force. And my idea for the Ginyu Force, this is gonna sound crazy, but they can make them a 5-character LF tag unit. Now I know it's a bit of a stretch because Legends hasn't even made 3-way tag units yet, but I feel like the Ginyu Force, if the Ginyu Force was to get an LF, this is the way that this should, like, this is the way that it should be done, you know? And like, they could give them all individual LFs, but like, come on, what would be the fun in that? Like, they have to make it fun, you know? And obviously for the LF, it would be a little difficult because in the anime, they never really fought together. So here's my idea. Have you guys ever played Storm 4? Hear me out. I know this is crazy. But when you have 3 Akatsuki members on your team, and you do like those team ultimate attacks, I kind of forgot what they're called. They kind of have like a special team attack with all the Akatsuki like killing the opponent and ganging up on the opponent. I feel like if they were to do an LF Ginyu Force like tag unit, 5-way tag unit, they should do something like that. Like all 5 of the Ginyu Force members just ganging up on the opponent and just like beating him up. Like, I feel like that's how it should go about, you know? I think this is like a pretty good idea for like the Namek Saga. Not sure if Legends would even be able to do this because I mean, they haven't even done 3-way tag units, so what makes you think they're gonna do 5? But you know, this is what I want, so I'm gonna make some crazy ideas. All right, so yeah. And then for our next unit, we got a transforming full power Frieza. And this idea pretty much stems from the fact that the Super Saiyan Namek Goku has 2 units, one of them being a transforming unit and the other one just being like a standalone unit, you know? So full power Frieza has his standalone unit, you know, the yellow one. So I feel like to match Super Saiyan Goku, they should make a transforming Frieza. Like, he'll be from like final form to full power form, and that will be like an easy LF right there, you know? And yeah, that's pretty much it for the Namek saga. It's all the ideas I pretty much have. So we can move on to the next saga, which is the Android and the Cell saga. Now, normally I would want to separate these 2 sagas. And you know, the game separates these 2 by saga, you know. But for the sake of this video, I'll be combining the 2 since the Android saga I don't really have too many ideas for. So anyways, first up, we've got an LF Android 18. Now, my reasoning for this, they have not made a single girls unit that is an LF. Like, if you look in the game, not one LF, there's not one girls LF unit, you know? In the 7 years that this game has been out, there's not one girls LF. And like, there's actually one, and it's the tag droids. But I'm not counting that because LF17 is already on there. So I'm not counting that one, you know? So I feel like she's worthy of an LF in some way. They can either make her LF her fight against Vegeta, where she absolutely humiliated him, or they can make her the future version of herself, where like she packs up future Gohan, you know? And if anything, they can even release 2 separate banners, one with 17 and one with 18, just so like people are incentivized to summon. Because unfortunately, as much as I would want Android 18 to be a unit, I'm not sure how many people would summon for an 18 just on her own. So yeah, I feel like if they were to do an LF18, they would have to pair her up with another LF17. But yeah, that's that idea. And now for my next 2 ideas, this is gonna sound crazy, but they both involve Gohan. So yeah, can you blame me though? He's like the MVP of the Cell saga, so just bear with me real quick. My first choice is Android 16 that revives into Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. This would be like one of the perfect ways to make Android 16 an LF unit in some way, you know, like they did with like PyCon and Nappa, right? This would be like a great idea just to like have Android 16 as an LF, because I'm not sure if they could really make him a standalone LF. They could, don't get me wrong, they could. I'm just not sure if they would, you know? But yeah, for this unit though, I don't know if they should do like an FSK or the Father Son Kamehameha as the LF, specifically because this version of Gohan would kind of be similar to like Ultra Gohan, where like this is before Goku teleports Cell and like he comes back as super perfect Cell. You know what I'm trying to say? So I feel like specifically for this LF, they should make like a completely new animation like they did with like transforming Vegeta Blue with like his heat dome. They can make like a completely new LF and like not have it tied into the anime, you know? And then for the next and final unit for the Cell Saga, we've got another Gohan unit. This is Tag Goku and Gohan. This could be like a game originals, or like they could tie it into the Cell Saga. I don't know. But this one, of course, would have the father-son Kamehamehas in the LF. But another thing, I feel like this unit should be the next one to get the succession mechanic, like Future Gohan and Trunks did back in like January. I'm not sure if they would make it like Super Saiyan Goku and Super Saiyan Gohan, and then he'll succeed into Super Saiyan 2, or if they'll already have Super Saiyan 2 Gohan and Super Saiyan Goku, and then he'll succeed into like Super Saiyan 2 Gohan but with a broken arm. I don't know what you want me to tell you. But yeah, like I feel like this would be a pretty good choice. There isn't much to these two picks because Gohan's already done. Like FSK has already been done before, twice with the LF and the Ultra. So there's not really much they can really do. So Legends can figure something out because, come on, it's Gohan. Legends loves Gohan. So those are my picks for the Android and Cell sagas. So yeah, for our next and final saga, we got the Majin Buu saga. One of my favorite sagas of all of Dragon Ball, mainly for its hype moments. Yes, I know the Cell saga is amazing, but I mean, come on, you can't ignore the hype moments. And of course, the introduction of the GOAT of all GOATs, Vegito. Let me not even glaze him right now. So let me just start off with my first unit, LF Great Saiyaman. Now I know I just came back from talking about 2 Gohan units, but I don't know, I just like having the idea of a premium Great Saiyaman. I think the last one was the free-to-play Legends Road one, if I'm not mistaken. And he has some fun animations. Like, if he was able to be used right now, like, I would use him a lot. The only thing is that he kind of sucks, like his animations are gorgeous, like, and they're so fun. Like his strike arts makes him do like a spin while he's attacking. His blue card is like him shooting out like a little blast out of his finger, and then he appears right above the enemy and shoots like a Kamehameha. Like, his animations make him so fun. He just sucks. So I just feel like giving him a new version with the same goofy animations that the free-to-play one has would be amazing. But that's just my opinion, Next up, we've got LF Tag Goten and Trunks that fuse into Gotenks. Now, as a Fusion Warrior Glazer myself, give us all the Fusion Warriors, Tanny. Please. We can never have enough Fusion Warriors. Alright. I'm still upset that the last 2 fusing units came out a whole year ago when they were introduced. So we need way more characters with this ability. Please, Tanny, give us LF Kefla. Please give us LF Kefla for anniversary. Please, Tanny, please, I'm begging you. But yeah, Gotenks is definitely another unit that deserves the fusing mechanic in some way. Yeah, I feel like all the fusions deserve one at one point. But Gotenks definitely deserves one. So yeah, next up, another great idea. I have an LF Super Buu, but not just any Super Buu. This will be the first multi-transformation unit in Legends. He could go from Super Buu to Buu-Tanks and then to Buuhan. And if they wanted to get spicy with it, they can give each version of each transformation a separate LF. Like, they can give Super Buu an LF, they can give Buu-Tanks an LF, and they can give Buuhan an LF. And I know it might be a little hard to code that into the game because there's not a single unit that has multiple LFs yet. But there's always a first. Me personally, I think it's crazy that Kid Buu is the only version of Buu that has an LF. when Bootanks and Buhan have some amazing moments. So yeah, if Legends didn't want to go all out and make a triple transforming unit with 3 different LFs, the least they can do is make all the Boo variations into LF units. Like, make a Super Boo LF, make a Bootanks LF, make a Buhan LF. Especially Buhan, because I love Buhan. So, just give us something Boo related, you know? Those 3 transformations are definitely worthy of an LF, but if they can make them into a triple transforming unit, it will be amazing. So yeah, next up though, we've got an LF transforming Super Vegeta. Look, I told you I was a Vegito and a Fusion Warrior Glazer. There's gonna be a lot of Fusion Warriors in this series. A lot. But anyways, Super Vegito already has his 1% sparking, his standalone from the first anniversary, his fusing unit, and his Ultra, which is the only one I don't have. So, for his 5th and probably final unit, because I don't think they would make any more Super Vegito units, I feel like they should make him a transforming unit, like Transforming Vegito Blue. And for this one, I feel like they could incorporate the Big Bang attack into his LF, since the Super Vegito from the first anniversary is the only one with the Big Bang attack, and that's only with his blue card. So I feel like with his LF, they can use the Big Bang attack, you know? But yeah, I feel like for this Vegito specifically, they could definitely make his LF the Big Bang attack in some way, you know? Yeah, for our next unit on the list, you guys are gonna hate me for this, but we have an Ultra Ultimate Gohan. Oh my god, Mike. Another Gohan unit on your list? You gotta be kidding me. Get over it. Gohan's one of my favorite characters, so I'm including him in here. So just get over it. Yes, I know this is gonna be the 3rd Ultra Gohan, and it would probably be hell, especially after Cryhon. But I mean, come on. If Ultimate Gohan could get an LF unit, especially in the anniversary of all things, he can definitely get an Ultra. I mean, Ultimate Gohan has to be one of 3 Hype Gohan moments, and 2 of them already have Ultras. So I just think they should just give it to him, you know? Just give him the Ultra, you know? And honestly, I don't know what his ability would be. I don't know what he would have, what special he would have. But I don't know. Legends can figure something out, because they love making broken Gohan units. So they could figure something out for my boy. So yeah, and finally, for my last choice, I have an Ultra Super Saiyan 3 Goku. But not just any Ultra, not just any normal Ultra. I feel like this should be the first LF Ultra. I got this idea from another DBL content creator. His name is Slaybix, if this idea sounds familiar to anybody. So yeah, he's a pretty good content creator. He makes some funny content. So if you love DBL and haven't heard of him, you should check him out after this. But yeah, this would be like the perfect choice for an LF Ultra. I won't get into why, since, you know, Slay already explained it. So, you know, you should check out his 7th anniversary prediction video that I'll leave in the description. So if you want to watch that after. So let's just say that he wasn't an LF Ultra and was just like a normal Ultra, which would be boring, but there's always that outcome. I think that they can make him similar to Beast Gohan, where he would have like his normal ultimate, which in Super Saiyan 3 Goku's case would be like a transcendent Kamehameha. And then they can have an active gauge where he'll release the Spirit Bomb. And then, you know, that'll be the unit, you know? And, you know, whether they make this Ultra an LF or not, I feel like Legends could do some pretty good things with a Super Saiyan 3 Goku. And that's it for my list. This part was way longer than the last part. Way longer than I expected it to be. Had so many more ideas. Man, how am I gonna edit all this together? Yeah, I guess that's a problem for future me to deal with. So yeah, I want to thank those of you who stuck out to the very end of the video. You don't know how much I appreciate you guys, especially since this was such a long part, you know. Once again, if you guys have any other ideas of units that you want to see in Dragon Ball Legends, comment them below. And if you hate my ideas and you hate that I have like 4 Gohan units on here, then comment that below too. If you enjoyed the video and you want to see part 3 when it eventually comes out, like the video, subscribe. I really appreciate that. And yeah, I'll see you guys in part 3. Peace.